Hey, it's Joey for Digital DJ Tips, and welcome to another episode of Your Feedback. This is our weekly show where we share your views to questions posted over at the Digital DJ Tips website. And in this episode, the question is, do you live stream your DJ sets? Now, before I move on to your answers, I'm going to share mine first. I'm going to be honest, I haven't live streamed a DJ set in a while. Things have just been quite hectic over at the Digital DJ Tips website. We really ramped up our production. But the last time that I did live stream my set, I used a service called Chew.tv. Shout out to Will and Ben for coming out with this platform. A lot of readers in the Digital DJ Tips audience use this as well when it comes to broadcasting their practice sets, their live performances, and so on. Now, when I do get back on the live streaming horse, I will most probably use this platform as well just because it's worked so well for me in the past. Facebook Live is also a popular option and I have tried it, but I just find Chew.tv to be a little bit more reliable in terms of connectivity. I haven't tried Facebook Live recently. Maybe that's changed. Maybe it's already a lot more stable. I see a lot of DJs on Facebook pages like DJ Mixes Now use this platform. So it probably is a good thing for me to check out. Cool. So now let's get to your answers. Our first answer comes from PsychoFrak, and he says, I try to live stream once a week, but I had a longer stretch of I can be happy if I'm able to stream more than 10 times in a year due to health or time-related reasons. Anyway, I started out on Ustream back in 2009-ish, might have been a year earlier or later, inspired by a short time span when Felix the House Cat started live streaming his sets. Of course, since Wi-Fi isn't really the most reliable thing in a club, he stopped doing it pretty quick. But I do it ever since then. Of course, I gave up on Ustream for several reasons. At some point, they started to interrupt the streams with commercials or randomly kicked out DJs for copyright infringement. I used Mixlr for a while, but they also changed too much for my taste. Then I moved to another DJ streaming website that is already gone and which name I forgot. For several years, I was on Mixify, which of course had the advantage that you didn't have to care for a video feed. As soon as you have to set up a webcam, things become unnecessarily complicated, in my opinion. Then I tried Chew when they bought Mixify, but I didn't like their interface. Now I'm streaming on Groovio. And why am I streaming? Well, I didn't have a paid gig since 2008. Before that, I wasn't exactly a household name either. I live in the middle of nowhere, an area without a scene, despite the fact that some global superstar DJs are from here. I'm also not able to travel. Basically, I gave up on trying to get gigs. Through the miracle of streaming, I get at least a chance to play for some kind of live audience. It's impossible to read them though because when they log out, I don't know if they left because they hate my music, and if they stay, I don't know if they are even listening, unless they bother to drop a few lines in the chat. Still, it's fun most of the time. So thank you for that, PsychoFrak. Our next answer is from AltRock, and he says, I totally live stream. After moving cross-country and away from my steady gigs, it was impossible for me to convince any bars to let me get on. So I started periscoping my sets in order to keep some pressure up while I focused on grinding out mixtapes. That's a good strategy. It definitely stopped me from quitting on a mix after train wrecking, which makes me more productive. The downside to live streaming mixes is you never know who, if anybody, is watching. For instance, in Periscope, I usually end up with 100 plus live views, but when I look at the time per viewer stats after, it's super disappointing. I don't really care, but I wish I could actually figure out who is watching for a longer time so I can select for them. If you're gonna Periscope your sets, I'd like to stress that nobody should be relying on their iPhone mic for sound. Pick up an inexpensive iRig in a cheap stereo to mono Y adapter, since Periscope broadcasts in mono. Use your DJ software to record your sets internally in order to post to Mixcloud or whatever later. Thanks for that, AltRock. Next up, this is from VDJ, and he says, the problem with online broadcasts, such as live streaming, is that the platform, tools, and providers don't seem to understand what seems to be keeping it from growing faster and being more fulfilling for the DJ broadcasters. Specifically, there are hardly any tools that enable interactivity. So, as AltRock mentioned, viewership is low and misleading. The standard chat room tool is played out. The trend may look amazing for big name acts, but again, these people are already big names and already have a following, so anything they do is popular. For the regular DJ, not so glamorous. I suppose things will improve at some point, but if any broadcast enablers are reading this, please think about creative tools to help the DJ broadcasters interact with their audience. Yeah, I agree with this. I wish there were more chat functions and tools to measure your audience. But if you use something like Facebook Live, then you can see timestamps of when people reply or post a comment to your live stream, and you can even reply back to them if you want to. So if you are looking for measurability, try checking out Facebook Live. Our next answer comes from DJ Elevate, and he says, I've been doing this regularly for years now and recently just started offering to provide it for local events in my area. So not only has it helped me promote myself, somewhat wish we had more viewers on our platform of choice, Groovio.com, I now have a desirable skill that's helped me build my social network of other DJs and nightlife professionals. If I wasn't tied down with family, I'd probably be out 3 to 4 times a week broadcasting events. My fellow DJs really appreciate the extra visibility. Thank you for that, DJ Elevate. Next up, this is from Indigo De Ville, Suliandi. It says, we live stream regularly on Chew.tv using the OBS application, USB sound card, and a simple webcam. You can use your laptop webcam, but the angle will be limited. So far, I find it the safest from all of these copyright infringements after experiencing numerous blocks from Facebook and YouTube before. The downside is we still have to use our computer to broadcast, unlike Facebook and YouTube, in which case you can just use your smartphone, right? Hopefully, one day, Chew TV will make an application where we can broadcast live from mobile phones. Setting up will be so much simpler then. During my radio shows every Friday night, we usually broadcast live on Instagram. That's also a good idea. Too bad they only keep live videos for 24 hours. All right, thank you for that, Indigo De Ville. So that's it for this episode of Your Feedback. If you want your answer to be featured in an upcoming episode, all you gotta do is to share your answers, whether it's on the Digital DJ Tips Facebook page or over at the comment section of the Digital DJ Tips website. My name is Joey. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I'll see you next week.